If you're heading off on a trek, you might be wondering to yourself, should I get a pair of trekking poles? I'm going to go over today why I use them and give you a few tips and techniques that will help you be much more efficient when you're actually using your poles. Firstly, the reason why I use them for the short-term and long-term benefits. Short-term, I can trek much more efficiently. I find that I am able to trek a lot easier when I've got the poles and I'm not wasting as much energy. It's also a lot softer on the knees and the joints. And you can distribute the weight of your body and the weight of your backpack into the ground via 4 points instead of 2. The long-term benefits, I want to be able to do this kind of walking when I'm 60 and 70. So it's really about long-term joint health. Now you can get a pair of poles and you might use them, but they might not make any difference, and that's probably what's happened to a lot of people that have bought poles, used them and thought, oh, this is useless, and sort of given them away and not used them again. And that's probably because they're using them in a way that's not very efficient. So I'm going to show you the way that I use them, and you can try that and see if that works for you as well. Firstly, with your pole, you want to get them set up correctly. So most of the time you want to have a 90-degree angle with your elbow. So when the pole's placed on the ground, if you're on mainly flat ground, you want about a 90-degree angle here in your elbow. If you know that you're going uphill all day, that angle is going to be a little, the pole's going to be a little bit shorter because there's less distance to the ground. If you know you're going downhill all day, it'll be a little bit longer because there's longer distance to the ground. Now, the first thing you want to do when you actually start trekking is take the cap off the pole. You see a lot of people trekking with the rubber caps on. This is a carbide tip at the bottom, which is really good for getting grip on rock and dirt and mud and all sorts of stuff, snow. Also with the handle, you want to hold the handle correctly, just like a ski pole. When you drop the pole, it should drop straight below your wrist like this. And the way we do that is coming up underneath the handle, over the top, and then grasping the handle. So you can see there that my thumb is going over the top of the strap there. Might feel awkward or uncomfortable at first. The benefits of that is that you don't have to have a death grip on the pole the whole time. You can control the pole just by the strap in your hand. So you don't have to be gripping the pole the whole time. Also, the reason why we wouldn't come in this direction, which is what a lot of people do, is because you can actually dislocate or break your thumb fairly easily if you take a fall. So if you were to trip over on trail and you fall down and you put your hand down to the ground to stop your fall, you can quite easily dislocate your thumb or break it. So we always want to come up and over the top and grasping the pole. Okay, now how do we actually use them when we're on trail? So I'm going to walk up this steep section here and I'm going to show you the posture and the method that I use when trekking. So you want to trek asymmetrically, so left foot up, right hand up. That's the way your body will naturally move. I've got my poles a little shorter because it's quite steep ground. So that's the way you would go up steep ground, making sure that you're not going up left side and right side at the same time. It just feels super awkward. When you're on flat ground, the poles are going to give you forward propulsion. So you want to use the poles at about a 70-degree angle. And again, you're placing the poles asymmetrically. As you bring your left foot forward, your right hand will come forward. So the difference between that and placing the poles on the ground straight in front of you, out like this, is that you're not getting any kind of forward propulsion this way. So the poles need to be placing it around where your foot is in order for you to get a little bit of forward propulsion. Now it's not much, but if you multiply that over a long day's trekking, like 6 to 8 hours of trekking, it can make a real difference. Also, on the way downhill, you are taking off a fairly significant amount of weight of your own body weight and your pack weight off your legs and into your hands. So we go hands over the top of the poles when we're coming down. Not only is that giving you better stability, but it's also taking off what is potentially quite a heavy load off your system, off your body. We want to go nice and wide with the poles as you go down for better stability. So there's a few tips that you can use with your trekking poles to make you more efficient in your walking and also to keep you safer on trail. If you need more tips or anything to do with trekking and training for trekking, head over to www.bigmountaintraining.com.